So students, under chapter digestion and absorption, we have learned in our last class till pharynx. Okay, first part what we have learned is mouth and buccal cavity, where food is taken into the mouth. Okay, that process is called ingestion. Then 4 types of teeth we have, that is aided or helped for cutting the food, tearing the food and grinding the food, that is called mastication of food. Then food reaches pharynx. There are 2 divisions, like one part goes to esophagus, other part comes to larynx. And food what we take doesn't go to trachea or lungs, it directly goes to esophagus, because there is a part called epiglottis. That epiglottis closes the glottis so that food doesn't go to lungs, it goes to esophagus and stomach. So next part after pharynx what we have to learn is definitely esophagus. You can see there, it's a long tube, esophagus. Okay, so now kannadadalli annanala antanu kariteve. In English we call food pipe, because food passes through this. You can see it very clearly there. It's a muscular tube, 30 centimeters long. 30 centimeters, like long scale. If you take long scale, okay, that big, 30 centimeters, that conducts food into the stomach. You can see in the picture clearly there. You can see there clearly. This is a long tube there. Okay, long tube. And that green color part what they are showing, that is a food there inside. Food is passing. This is one part for food, then one more is coming up there, because we take one after the other. So food is passing through the tube there, but the problem is the space within the esophagus is very narrow, but food what we take is bigger. Okay, because we eat one handful of, with 5 fingers, what amount we take, that much amount passes in the esophagus. So esophagus is very narrow, but food what we have taken is bigger. How do you think it will pass through that? For that, as you have learnt in 10th standard, the muscles there will expand and a wave like movement is created there, that is called peristaltic movement. You have learnt in 10th standard. Okay, anyway, so it is 30 centimeters long. It passes food esophagus to directly stomach. You can see there, this is a structure, that is stomach. Okay, food what you see there in green color they are showing, that is food. The posterior part of esophagus has gastroesophageal sphincter. That is very important, what you see there. What is meant by gastro? The word gastro means stomach. Esophageal means esophagus. Means the part where esophagus connects to stomach. Here at this point you can see there, it's written, there is a sphincter. Sphincter. The sphincter means it is like a door. It is like a door. Okay, so it is muscular, it is made of muscles. Whatever food goes to esophagus, directly it doesn't go to stomach. If it has to enter the stomach from the esophagus, in between the esophagus and stomach, like one opening is there, that is called sphincter muscle. If that sphincter muscle opens, then only food can go to stomach. Otherwise, food remains in the esophagus only. Okay, it's like a door. Like you are ready to enter the class, but classroom door is closed. No, unless somebody opens the door, you cannot go inside. Alva. So the food present in the esophagus will go to stomach only when the sphincter muscle which is present between the stomach and esophagus, that is called gastroesophageal sphincter. Name only says gastro means stomach, esophageal means esophagus. The part which is connecting stomach and esophagus, here this part, that is written as sphincter there. Okay, so it is a circular muscle. Sphincter is a circular muscle. It controls opening of esophagus into the stomach. Like I told you, the food from the esophagus, if it has to go to stomach, then that sphincter muscle should open. Only then, if that sphincter muscle opens, only then it can go, food can go to stomach. Otherwise, it cannot go. Okay. So next part you see, that is stomach. The cross section of stomach they are showing. Cross section of stomach you can see there. So it is a J-shaped structure. You can see English J shape is there. No, it is a J-shaped structure where stomach is meant for storing the food and digestion of food. It will store the food also, because whatever we eat, no, finally it goes to stomach only. What we eat, all that goes to stomach only. So stomach is meant for storing the food, and also digestion of food also occurs. Not complete digestion, partial digestion occurs in the stomach. Partial means ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ತಿಂದ ಫುಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗೋದು, ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಇಂಟೆಸ್ಟೈನಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟಮಕ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ partial digestion of food. So next, there are 3 parts in the stomach which you should know. Stomach is divided into 3 parts. The first part is called anterior part, that is called fundus. You can see here this upper part, this part, it is called fundus. It's mentioned here, fundus or fundic part. The upper part of stomach, this part, upper part is called fundus. Okay, then the middle part, what is there, that is called cardiac or cardia. It's written here, cardia or cardiac. The middle part, what is there, that is called cardia. The upper part, what is there, or sides, that is fundic, and the middle part, that is called cardiac stomach. Then the lower part is called pyloric stomach. You can see here, it's written here. Okay, this is pyloric part. The lower part, what is there, that is called pyloric stomach. Okay, pyloric stomach. Then pyloric stomach leads to small intestine by opening. So food present in the stomach will go to next part, that is this tube, what is there, cut here, then it will continue as intestine. So food from the stomach, it goes to intestine. See, this is the first part where intestine started here. After this intestine started, up to this is stomach. The last part of stomach is pyloric part. As you know, stomach is divided into 3 parts. Upper part is called fundic or fundus part, and middle part is called cardiac, and the last part is called pyloric part. So the food present in the stomach, from the stomach it goes to intestine through again one opening is there, like sphincter muscle. This is called pyloric sphincter muscle. See, pyloric sphincter muscle, because this area of stomach is called pyloric stomach. So the opening is there, that is called pyloric opening. You can see there, pyloric opening. It is also called pylorus. Okay, it is also called pylorus. It is guarded by pyloric sphincter muscle. Okay, the opening is called pylorus. It's written here, pylorus, and it is guarded by the muscles. You see here, this part and this part here, these two, like a door. It is like a door, like opening like this. Okay, it is guarded by 2 muscles, that is called pyloric sphincter muscle. There they have written the first part of intestine here, it's written duodenum, no? But before we go to duodenum, something very interesting part we should know. The inner wall of stomach bears longitudinal folds. Okay, you can see there, it's written very beautifully. They are showing these folds. What is there, no? These folds, what you see here in yellow color. Now inside there is a so much fold, no? All this folded structure is called folds of stomach or gastric folds. Very importantly, it is called rugae. Remember, rugae. If they ask you for 1 mark, what are rugae? Rugae is a folding of inner muscular layer of stomach. So inner layer is not smooth. Okay, it is folded. The folded structure of stomach is called rugae, or it is called gastric folds. Then next part is small intestine. You know, small intestine, entire alimentary canal is 9 meters long. You know, entire alimentary canal starting from mouth till anus, it is 9 meters long. You can imagine 9 meter means 1 meter is 3.33 feet. So 9 into 3, 27 feet around, that long will be the alimentary canal, that is starting from mouth till anus. Looks like very less difference is there. If you look at the body from mouth till anus, it will be hardly 2 to 3 feet, but actually it will be more than 27 feet, 9 meters long. In that 9 meters long alimentary canal, intestine is only 7 meters long, which is highly coiled structure. You can see only fitted in the just below the stomach. Okay, so it is longest part of the gut. Gut means alimentary canal. Longest part is because entire gut or alimentary canal is only 9 meters long. In that 7 meters is, that is more than 21 feet long, is just intestine. Then you may think like how it is, then how that long tube is arranged in very small area. It is simple, because it is not a straight tube, it is arranged in a coiled manner. You can see there clearly that in the center you can see clearly that it is arranged very coiled manner. It has 3 parts. Small intestine has 3 parts. Already I have explained it. So first part of duodenum is called first part of small intestine is called duodenum. You know this, I have explained in previous class. So first part of small intestine, here you can see this part, this is stomach. So first part of small intestine is duodenum, this part. Okay, the next area which is coiled structure, that is called jejunum. Jejunum, jejunum. Then last part what is there, which connects small intestine to large intestine, that is called ileum. Ileum, ileum. You can say ileum also, your wish. Okay. So there are 3 parts in small intestine. First one is duodenum, and the second part is jejunum, and third part is ileum. Okay. Next explanation is only this much given there. Okay, whatever is there in the textbook, same explanation is there here also. Some information will be more than the textbook, which is required for NEET. Anyway, then you can see this is a stomach, and this is the first part of small intestine called, which is a C-shaped structure, that is duodenum. Then you can see here coiled S-shaped structure, that is jejunum. And next part what do you see, that is ileum. Then ileum connects to large intestine. See, this is a large intestine started here. Large intestine, you can see this is a large intestine here. So small intestine connects to large intestine through ileum. Okay, then first part of large intestine, what you see, that is called cecum. Cecum. Okay, like spelling Caecum, we say cecum. Okay, first part of large intestine. Then one small part is there, which is a part of large intestine, that is called appendix or vermiform appendix. You can see here in the large intestine. Actually, vermiform appendix, if I should tell you with respect to NEET, vermiform appendix is one of the vestigial organs. Vestigial organ means it was functional before in our ancestors. Andre nama purvajaralli adu active agittu. It used to take part in digestion, but now vermiform appendix doesn't take part in digestion, but it is one of the secondary lymphoid organ which is required for immunity, but this is not the only part which gives immunity. Okay, there are so many parts. Along with that, this is also one. Like sometimes there will be infection to this appendix, the person gets severe pain, then doctor will remove this appendix part only surgically. By surgery they will remove, but he will be normal because appendix doesn't take part in digestion process. So, but don't think it is useless. Some people say it is useless, but it is not useless. It is one of the secondary lymphoid organ which is involved in giving immunity. Okay, ability to fight with diseases. That you will learn in chapter Human Health and Diseases, chapter number 10. I will discuss after, in the second year, in second year PU. Okay, so anyway, that is not there in the book, just I explained. So it is one of the vestigial organs. Like nictinating membrane, the thin membrane which is covering the eyes, that you have seen in frog. Even in human beings also, nictinating membrane was there. Now it is non-functional, it's not there. So it is also vestigial organ. Like that, many vestigial organs are there, like having tail. That is, tail bone is there in us. Tail bone is there, but tail is not there. But in our ancestors, tail was there. Okay, so that is vestigial organ, because now it is non-functional, it is not there. So we'll see next slide. So small intestine, very important part is what you should know. What is there in the inner wall of small intestine? You can see this is the first part, duodenum. They have cut one part and they are showing inside. So intestine is like a tube. They have cut in the center and they are showing what is there inside. So inner wall of the small intestine will have a finger like structure. What you see here, the finger like structure here, one finger like structure you see, that is called villi. You can see it's written villi, villi, villi. Okay, here also you can see two villi are there. So the inner tube, what is there, inner tube of small intestine, it will have finger like structures, that is called villi. That is meant for absorbing digested food. Whatever food is getting digested, after digestion the materials are required to the body. It should mix with the blood because it gives energy, so it will be absorbed by the intestine. So for absorption process, this villi is required. So through villi only food is absorbed, only digested food. Undigested food is not absorbed because it goes out as excreta. So finger like villi are seen in the mucosa layer, that is a innermost layer of intestine, is called mucosa layer. There are 4 layers, one after the other, in intestine. We are going to learn next part. So innermost layer of small intestine is called mucosa. The mucosa lining has villi. Okay, then each villus, villi is plural form. Okay, single we call villus. Each villus has brush bordered columnar epithelial layer provided with microvilli. You can see there, that also they are showing. Each villi has columnar, long column like structure, columnar epithelial tissue with a brush border. You can see here the small structures are there, finger like structures, again that is called microvilli. You can see that in this picture very clearly. Then villus consists of capillary network and a small lymph vessel. What you see there, here in the center you can see this red color, what you see, that is oxygenated blood, and this blue color what you see, that is deoxygenated blood. That is, red color is oxygen mixed, blue color is carbon dioxide mixed, where they join there. And in the center you see this yellow color or orange color tube, what you see in the center. In the center of the villi you can see one yellow color part, that is called lymph vessel. The name of lymph vessel is lacteal. Very important, lacteal, lacteal, lacteal. So lymph vessel present in the villi is called lacteal. And there are capillary network, like blood capillaries in a bunch, they are arranged. You can see here all these are capillaries arranged in a bunch. Okay, so this is one. Then large intestine and anus. Large intestine, you can see that is a large intestine, where small intestine will be connected to large intestine. So you can see there. So there are 4 parts. 4 parts are there in the large intestine. Large intestine has actually 4 parts. They have given main parts, that is 3 parts they said. It is 1.5 meters long. 1.5 meters. Okay, almost 5 feet long. Okay, so 5 meters long. It has 3 parts. First one is cecum, second colon, and third is rectum. What you see there clearly, I can show you. So again, this is large intestine. Okay, it has 3 parts. First one is this part, what you see, it's labeled here, that is called cecum. Then second part, that this and this. So this, what is there? No, that is colon part. In that colon again 3 types. This is called ascending colon, ascending because it is going up, and this is transverse because it is straight like this, then it is downwards, so it is called descending colon. Ascending meaning going up, and this is transverse, and this is descending. All 3 together it is called colon. Then last part is where undigested food, that is excreta, will be stored here in this area, that is called rectum. And the last part, that is opening through which undigested waste comes out, that is anus. Again here also from rectum to anus there is again sphincter muscle is there, sphincter muscle is there in the opening of anus. You know, every day morning you experience that sphincter muscle opening and relaxation. You know, if sphincter muscle opens, then only excreta comes out of anus. The sphincter muscle should enlarge and open. Okay, otherwise it will be narrow. Okay, that is called anal sphincter muscle. It is voluntary muscle, it is under our control. You know, like release of excreta somehow we can control. You know, release of excreta, giving pressure, release of excreta through anus, that we can control. It is under our control. Like whenever whenever it is not under your control, what happens? It will be suddenly released. That doesn't happen. So it is under our control. Somewhat we control up to one level. Then you can see the large intestine, what I was talking about. In some herbivores means some animals which eat plants, large intestine consists of cellulose digesting bacteria. You can see there, here they are showing, because in herbivorous animals, especially in cows, goats and all, okay, some cellulose digesting bacteria will be there because they eat plants directly. And the plant material, cell wall of plant contains cellulose, and that cellulose has to be digested. For digestion of cellulose, there is cellulose digesting bacteria in some herbivorous animals. Andre sasyahari pranigalalli, the animals which eat plants, the plants contain cellulose, cell wall contains cellulose. That is why cellulose digesting bacteria is required for them. Then next we are learning histology of human gut. You know what is histology means? Okay, where histo means they're talking about tissues. Logos means study. So study of tissue, what we call histology. So we are going to learn the tissues present in the human gut. Gut means alimentary canal, that is starting from mouth till anus. So it's a long tube, but if you cut the intestine and see what is there inside and what all tissues are there inside, okay, so we will see totally 4 layers. I will see, no, here only you can see 4 layers are there. Okay, so this is the innermost layer. This is, you understood now what it is? It is a long tube, alimentary canal, that is like intestine is coiled. You have cut it and opened it, and you can see this is the opening there. So innermost layer, okay. If it is a tube, the innermost layer, what is there? That innermost layer is called mucosa. This innermost layer is called mucosa. Yeah, they have labeled here mucosa, innermost layer. So mucosa is a innermost moist epithelial layer, wet, always wet. I mean inner layer of intestine is wet because food should easily, smoothly should pass. So it is moist epithelial layer, contains secretory and absorptive cells. It contains secretory cells, means they secrete some hormones or some chemicals. Then they are absorptive cells, means they are meant for absorbing the digested food. ಅಂದರೆ ಜೀರ್ಣವಾದಂತಹ ಫುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ಹೀರ್ತದೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ಸ್. Okay, digested food it absorbs and it releases some chemicals which is required for digestion process, and it releases some hormones also. So it is secretory and absorptive. And second layer, what comes after that, that is called submucosa. You can see that this is the innermost. Then they are showing next layer here, next layer by, like onion, if you take layer by layer you can remove. So innermost layer is mucosa, then next covering is submucosa. You can see here it's written, this is submucosa. And submucosa is a soft connective tissue layer. It's a soft connective tissue layer just outside the mucosa. Means first layer is mucosa, then next layer what is there next to the mucosa is called submucosa. See, name only says submucosa, means like inspector. Just lower rank is sub inspector, below that is assistant sub inspector, ASI, then next to him is SI, sub inspector, then inspector, like that. Okay, so here mucosa is the innermost layer, then next to that there is submucosa. It is a soft connective tissue layer. It contains nerves and blood vessels. So submucosa contains nerve cells and blood vessels. You can see here they are showing in blue color here. It contains nerve cells and blood vessels. The next layer, what do you see? Next layer, that is called muscularis. So innermost is mucosa, then submucosa, then next layer is called muscularis. Okay, the muscularis, this one. So it is a outer to submucosa, means it is next to submucosa. Smooth muscle layer. It contains inner circular and outer longitudinal muscles. So it contains two layers. You can see here. Okay, this is, they are talking about, this is circular muscle, which is inner layer, and this is outer layer, that is called longitudinal muscles. So two types of muscles are there. Inner muscularis will have circular muscles, what you see here, this one. Then outer layer will have longitudinal muscles. Okay, so longitudinal muscles. Then the last layer, what you see, the outermost layer, what you see here in yellow color, this yellow color part, that is the outermost layer, that is called serosa. S-E-R-O-S-A, serosa. It is a outermost fibrous layer. It is made up of fibrous connective tissue, like thread-like structure, fibrous connective tissue. Okay, so this is about 4 layers of alimentary canal or gut. Like intestine, if you consider, it will have 4 layers. Okay, if you cut the tube, it has 4 layers. The next, if you see, digestive system at glance, what we have learned just now. Again, no need to see, same thing what I explained just now, one by one. Then we are going to learn now digestive glands. Only tube is not enough for digestion. Only starting from mouth till anus, long tube is not enough. Some chemicals are also required, like for digestion of fat, bile juice is required. And bile juice is not produced by alimentary canal, it is produced by liver. Okay, liver, pancreas, these are required for, these are the glands which are required for digestion. Some digestive glands are there, these are also called associated glands, because tube, alimentary canal is in the center, and on left and right side there will be glands that is meant for secreting some chemicals, and those chemicals are required for digestion process. Okay, so digestive glands, one by one we will learn now. So you can see these are the glands which is required for digestion process. So they secrete digestive juices for digestion of food, because food will be digested when some digestive juices will mix with the food, then only food will get digested. For that, the digestive juices will be produced by these glands. These are the type of digestive glands. You can see there 5 glands are there which is important, required for digestion. Okay, for example, number 1, first gland what is required is salivary gland. Salivary gland which is present here, which produces saliva. Like in the mouth, watery liquid comes out. ಅಂದರೆ ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಲ ರಸ ಬರ್ತಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಎಂಜಲು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, that is saliva. It is produced by salivary glands. Okay, then gastric glands. Gastro means stomach. Gastric glands means these glands are present in the inner wall of stomach. They also release some chemicals required for digestion of food. Then liver, very important. Liver releases bile juice, and that is required for digestion of fat. That is for emulsification of fat. You know what it is. Then pancreas is required for releasing pancreatic juice, which is required for digestion of proteins. Like some enzymes are required, like chymotrypsin, all those trypsin, all these enzymes are required. Then intestinal glands. Intestine also releases some chemicals like cholecystokinin. Already you know gastrin is produced by stomach. All these are required for release of digestive juices. So pancreas is also required for secretion of chemicals which is required for digestion of proteins. So intestine also produces some chemicals, like I told you, cholecystokinin is a hormone which is required for digestion, where this cholecystokinin hormone, you already learned this hormone, that is required for release of bile juice from liver and release of pancreatic juice from pancreas. So So these are very important glands. Without these glands, digestion doesn't happen. So one by one we will learn. First gland which is present here, that is salivary gland, which releases saliva. You can see there. And salivary glands are mainly three group of glands. They are paired glands. They are in pairs. Three glands together, it is a salivary gland. That's why they didn't say salivary gland. They said salivary glands, because more than one are there. So what is present at the lower side, what you see, that is called submandibular gland. And what is present in the middle, what you see, sublingual gland. And on the top here near the ears, that is what we call parotid gland. Okay, so totally 6 glands are there, 2 each. So they are in 3 pairs. Like first one is parotid gland. Here what you see, this orange color part here near the ear, just below the ear, that is called parotid glands. Parotid glands are 2 in number. There are 2 parotid glands, because on each side, parotid glands. Okay, largest salivary gland is parotid gland. What you see there, that orange color part they are showing, it is seen in cheeks. Cheek part here, kenne baga. ನೀವು ತುಳುದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಪ್ಪೆ ಅಂತೀರ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ, whatever. Okay, so cheeks. Then submaxillary gland. It is also called submandibular gland. Here, this part. Okay, it is seen in lower jaw. Here, this is lower jaw. Okay, here in this portion you see that there is one more pair of gland, salivary gland, that is called submaxillary gland. You can also call submandibular gland. Okay, they are also 2 in number. They are seen in the lower jaw portion. Then sublingual glands. These are present below the tongue. You can see this is mouth, this is tongue area. Just below the tongue, this orange color part, what you see, that is sublingual glands. They are also 2 in number. So totally 6. 2 parotids, 2 submaxillary, 2 sublingual. So totally 6 are there. All these 3 pairs, that is parotid, submaxillary or submandibular, then sublingual glands, all these 3 together, it is a salivary gland. You know what they secrete? They secrete saliva. And saliva is required for first step of digestion, where starch present in the food will be digested. Starch is converted to simple sugar. Whatever food we eat, that food contains starch. That starch will be converted to simple sugars like maltose. Okay, because of the enzyme present in the saliva. The saliva, what is produced, watery liquid, that contains important enzyme called salivary amylase enzyme. That salivary amylase enzyme is required for digestion of starch. The starch present in the food is converted to simple sugars like maltose because of salivary amylase enzyme. Okay, so in next class we will learn about salivary amylase enzyme in detail, what is their function and all. So keep watching my classes. Thank you.